Hey, how you doing this morning? Saturday morning. We made it to the weekend, and not just any weekend. It's Easter weekend. Good Friday yesterday, Easter tomorrow. Big plans. Talked about that the other day, Wednesday, on the FBTV Podcast. And right now I'm thinking, man, I wish I would have got that turkey. Maybe next weekend. Turkey's on my mind, though. What I'm talking about, go back and listen to Wednesday's podcast. No, I was talking about smoking a turkey. Anyway, it's Saturday, April 16th. If you're just waking up and you just heard me say it's April 16th and you went into a sudden panic attack, my taxes. Oh my gosh, my taxes. It's okay. 18th is the date this year. You're still okay. Get it together. Get it in the mail Monday, and you'll be fine. A lot of people get extensions. You do realize, even though you get an extension, your taxes are still due in April. Yeah, you get an extension for the filing, but they want their money in April. You don't get an extension on the payment. So if you get the extension and you think, and come October, okay, you do your taxes. You're going to get a letter back from the IRS and the state. Hey, you owe this much penalties because you didn't pay your taxes on time, which would have been April. Anyway, don't make any sense to me. It don't make any sense to me why they make your quarterlies due in April at the same time your income taxes do. I mean, if you're a small business owner, which most brokers are, be a broker or broker agent, well, you know what I'm talking about. It's kind of goofy. All right, very good. My name is Mike. I'm your host. This is the FBTV Podcast. Matter of fact, on Saturday, you may already know this, you may already be watching. Saturday mornings, 9 A.M., every Saturday. Well, not every, but right now anyway. We are live streaming on YouTube. Been telling you this for a while. Been doing it for a few weeks now. So if you're watching us on the live stream, that's cool. You can also watch us on our website, freightbrokertv.com. Go to the live stream page. Matter of fact, on our live stream page, you can watch, if you missed the Saturday morning live stream, we're putting it up as the live stream on our website for the whole week until the next live stream. You can watch it live you can watch the live stream every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on our website or YouTube. But if you miss it and you want to watch it, you can go to our website. That's about the only place you're going to see it unless you're FBTV Insider. And to be an FBTV Insider, well, you have to be one of our clients to have access to all that material. Now, got through that mess. Even though we're live streaming on YouTube, it's in video. It's a video podcast. You can find us on your favorite podcasting app, the audio version of the podcast, Freight Broker TV. I looked the other day, it looked like we had something like 137 episodes. This, I think, is going to be 138. It's a lot of podcasts. But anyway, it is what it is. Anyway, glad you joined us. No matter if you're listening to us on your favorite podcasting app, if you're watching this at a later date via our Freight Broker TV website, or if you are watching it as we live stream it on YouTube or our website, hey, glad you made it. Saturday's question and answer day, Q&A day, and we've got some this week. Last week, I know we kind of got off on a tangent. This week, we got some Q&As. Matter of fact, one of the questions comes from France. I believe it's France. Junie, Junny. Another one from Austin. We're going to be answering those. Actually, they're two people that submitted questions, but boy, do they have a lot of questions. We'll be addressing those questions in this podcast today. Today, Saturday, April 16th. Today is Husband Appreciation Day. Husband Appreciation Day. All right, we're about 5 minutes into this podcast. So, if you are listening via a podcast, all you need to do is back it up to about the 4.5 minute mark, get around your wife and hit play, and she will hear me say, today is Husband Appreciation Day. Not that it's going to mean anything. Because she'll probably say, honey, I appreciate you every day. Bean Counters Day. Eggs Benedict Day. I haven't had Eggs Benedict in a long time. Rich. I don't think it's good for you. Tasty, not quite good for you anyway. All right, we got the impossible question today. Today's impossible question, and if I remember, I'll give you the answer before we finish up today. 8 out of 10 Europeans have one of these, but only 1 out of 10 Americans have one. What is it? 8 out of 10 Europeans have one of these, but only 1 out of 10 Americans have one. So 80% of the Europeans have one, 10% of the Americans have one. What might it be? If your first guess is a teapot, okay, I got to remind you every chance I get, if you're a driver, owner, operator, trucking company, whatever, even a broker, this is important to you because these dates, you want to pay attention to them. May 17th through 19th, CVSA 72-hour road check. That's where the states open up the rest areas, really, just dive bomb trucks, doing inspections on them and getting the dogs out and all that. I got to a point when I was driving, I just stayed home. When they publicized it, I knew that was the dates I wanted to be home because you can't make no time. And I can imagine now, you got an ELD. All right. Now, when I was driving, get involved in that 72-hour check, yeah, you could kind of play around with your logbook because you had a logbook, not an ELD. But now we could get the time back. We were delayed, but we could get the time back. Can't with an ELD. So these guys out there, May 17th through 19th, they get pulled in for an inspection. It's realistic. They could be there for a couple of hours waiting to be inspected. Then the inspector, it just, whatever. You get the idea. But anyway, I chose to stay home, and I know exactly that's what I'd be doing if I was driving today. Only two things can happen when you're getting inspected. Well, the best thing that can happen when you get inspected is they don't find anything wrong with your equipment, your logs, or anything like that, and you've just been delayed. The worst thing, tickets, repairs, cost. But anyway, May 17th through 19th, CVSA road check. They're calling it the Road Check Inspection Blitz. Kind of has that blitz thing kind of brings back images of World War II. Blitzkrieg. March Class 8 sales are up. Well, for the most part, top 20,000. Big truck sales topped 20,000 in March. Trailer orders went up as well, nearly 38,000. Big truck sales in March hit the high point for the year and still slipped 7.6% compared with a year ago. Sales reached 20,359 compared to 22,031 a year earlier. January sales, 14,854. They inched up to 14,916 in February, but over 20,000 in March. So that's good. That's good for a lot of people, because if that many trucks were ordered, that means there's going to be more used equipment coming out on the market. Maybe the prices of the used equipment might come down a little bit. Trailer orders in March went up over 37,000. Highest level for trailer sales since December 2020. Orders said 37,900 trailers ordered. 28% higher than the 29,910 net orders from a year ago. So those are good things. Those are always good signs. Trucking companies are spending money. They're buying. Meaning more used equipment is going to come out on the market. Meaning the prices are going to come down. May have to wait a little bit to see the prices come down, because I'm sure a lot of these used truck sales lots, they're going to try to keep those prices up there as high as they can. But what's going to happen there? Supply and demand deal. You know, they're going to get a lot of equipment on their lot. They're going to have to do something to move it. So anyway, that's that. Hey, if you're having a birthday today, happy birthday to you. You're in pretty good company. Wilbur Wright. Yeah, that Wright. The Wright brothers Wright. He was born on this day back in 1867. Charlie Chaplin. I watched one of his short movies the other day on YouTube. Pancake Boy or something like that, where a little boy was making pancakes for Charlie. Anyway, he was born on this date back in 1889. Ellen Barkin, born on this date back in 54. Split an image of Cameron Diaz, or Diaz, however you pronounce it, but or vice versa. Cameron looks like Ellen, but they could be mother-daughter, sisters, whatever it might be. Alan Harper from 2.5 Men, John Cryer. He was also in Pretty in Pink, Supergirl. He was in something else too. Had that funky hairdo, man. Wasn't that the movie where, I can't remember now. Something about paintball guns, or I don't know. Anyway. Martin Lawrence, he's having a birthday today, born in this state back in 1965. Peter Billingsley. Boy, don't that name sound familiar. Peter Billingsley. But anyway, if you can't put two and two together, Peter Billingsley, he was Ralphie in the Christmas classic, A Christmas Story. He's 51 today. Boy, man, if you were around when that movie came out, didn't that just make you feel old? All right. Let's see. Let's get into a Q&A. Let's talk about the Q&As here for a minute. Okay, Junie. I think Junie, maybe Uni. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, no offense. Please forgive me. But I believe from the email address, it came in from France. And we've got an audience from around the world, France, Spain, all over Europe, United States, obviously. But we thank you for tuning in. You know, tell your friends. You know, help us grow the channel. If you are watching this on YouTube, hey, you know, give us a thumbs up. Any of our videos on YouTube, thumbs up. Make a comment if you wish. On your favorite podcast app, yeah, subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Say something nice. It helps more people find our podcast. Anyway, Junie's question, I don't know much about the business, but my questions are how to become a freight broker. Well, let's start with there. You got several. How to become a freight broker, getting a license to operate, the bond, finding customers and carriers, how to create my packages, a ton of questions here. Now, real quick, so you know, I host the FBTV Videos podcast and such, but I am also the lead consultant for Taltoa, TALTOA.com. Check it out. This is exactly what we do at Taltoa. We consult freight brokers, freight broker agents, trucking companies. Now, the freight broker agent part, as far as consulting, it's included with our package for a new broker agent. And those packages include placement. Once you have completed the essential training, we can place you through us under a licensed broker so you can begin your broker operation. It's just like any other freight broker agent position. If you were to go out here and get a contract as a freight broker agent with a brokerage company, you're paid a commission just like any other freight broker agent might be in the mentorship program, 60% of net. Net is the difference between what the customer paid you to move a load and what you agreed to pay the truck. Call it the load profit if you wish, if that makes more sense. But check us out, TALTOA.com. We got all kinds of different packages available. If you are looking for consulting only and you are a brokerage, you can contact us. We have broker only, or consulting for a broker only available. Consulting only, what I'm getting at. Feel free to call me, 479-668-0838. So how to become a freight broker? Well, Junie, it's like this. You can step out, and now this is United States rules and regs. I don't know anything about France, but I'm assuming it's going to be something similar, but probably a little bit different, but you get the idea. In the States, if you want to start your own freight brokerage company, you're going to file for your authority, get your $75,000 property broker per surety bond, UCR, BOC3. Once you get all that filed, 21 days later, you'll be notified that your broker authority has been issued, and you got to wait for it to actually get it in the mail. You know, the paperwork. You're not going to be able to. You're not going to have your license. You can't start brokering just because you got the notification that your authority was granted. You've got to wait till you have the certificate in your hand before you can actually begin your broker operation. Now, there are companies out there that, at least I've seen this happen, where they you know, because once you file for that authority, it becomes public information. I mean, it's just public information, all it amounts to. And you're going to start getting email, spam, letters to your address, mailing address. I mean, it's all kinds of solicitations. And one came in when we were doing one a while back, and it kind of caught my eye. Hey, for $79, we'll get you the paperwork quicker. Huh? I can wait a few days. Okay, it's not that big of a deal. But anyway, it's up to you. You'll see that. But you've got to get all that paperwork filed, and then you got to go through the process of building the business. Building the business it doesn't happen overnight, especially if you're brand new and have no customers, no carrier following. It takes time. This is why we always recommend to clients start out as a broker agent, because it doesn't matter if you're a freight broker working under your own license or if you are an agent working under somebody else's license. Doesn't matter. If you're brand new, you're going to have to go through that startup period, that period where you are building a customer base, getting loads, figuring out what's going to make you money, what's not, building a carrier following. And that takes time. So start out as an agent. That way you don't have to worry about everything. Because as a new freight broker, yeah, the buck stops with you if you've got your own license. Because as an agent, you can focus on building the business, gaining the experience. And then when you're ready, you got all your ducks in a row. Now you can step out, get your own broker license, start your own brokerage company. And you've got everything put together. You've got the customer base, you got the carrier following, and everything's just going to fall into place for you. Make sense? Now, getting a license to operate, you can actually, in the States, you could go to the FMCSA website and file the paperwork on your own. And I know people do that, and not a big deal. I mean, if you feel comfortable doing that, that's fine. But understand, if you goof, if you mess something up, it could delay your authority being issued. My recommendation is always to use a service to file the paperwork for you. I am no holds barred about it. I know at Taltoa we recommend our clients getmyauthority.com. we're not associated with them. They, well, as far as, we don't have any, they don't pay us to talk about them or recommend them is what I'm saying. We've recommended them for several years to our clients, thinking about getting their own authority. And the main reason is we've talked to them before. We talked to James up there. They're out of Michigan, by the way. And anytime we've had a question, because as a consulting firm, hey, just because we're a consulting firm doesn't mean we have every answer. It means that we will go find the answer if we don't know it. But we've had to talk to them several times. And they've always been, good people. Matter of fact, when we filed the authority for our sister company, Tautoa Logistics, back in June of last year, we went through them. It went just like clockwork. There's been a couple of things we had to inquire about along the way, and we just pick up the phone and call James or email him, and it gets right back to us. Because what you're going to find is after you get your authority, you're going to have all these other companies trying to bill you for stuff you don't need. Hey, you got to do this, you got to do this. You've already done it. Like the UCR thing, we did that. Next thing you know, we got the UCR through Get My Authority. Next thing you know, we're getting hit up by other companies saying your UCR is not valid. Yeah, it is. Yeah, UCR is Unified Carrier Registration. Yeah, brokers are required to have those too. Bond, you are required to have a $75,000 property broker surety bond, BMC, 84, 85, 86, something like that. But anyway, the bond is going to be, it's going to run you anywhere from around $1,000 a year. And I've heard people tell me they had quotes for $7,000 or $8,000 a year and everything in between. It depends a lot on your background, your credit, things of that nature. Now, what I always recommend to people is, hey, go apply for your bond before you do anything, at least when you're within 60 days of wanting to get your authority. You get a quote, and that quote is generally good for 60 days. All kinds of bonding companies out there. JW Bonding, that's who we recommend. They got a, matter of fact, you go to JW Surety Bonds website, and they got a form there on their homepage you can fill out, and they'll give you a quote. That way you have an idea of what you're looking at as far as cost for your bond. But anyway, it can vary anywhere from $1,000 to around $1,000 to around and up. Let's just put it that way. Finding shippers and carriers, well, that comes after you become operational. Not a big secret. You got to get out there and beat the bushes. You got to find your customers. And, something about that, a lot of people don't get this, but customers, they're easy. A lot of people think getting a customer as a broker is the hard part. No, getting a customer is easy. It's the process, the whole process. Once you start getting all the pieces of the puzzle together, everything becomes easy. But getting loads, okay, think of it this way. You got these companies out there, they manufacture a product. They have salespeople that sell that product to their customers by the truckload. That person in shipping, all the pressure falls on them because as an order is made, it goes to shipping, and shipping has to find a truck to get in there, pick up that customer's order, get it out the door, and delivered. Well, think about that. They got 20, 30 orders backed up. That's going to be hard for one person to do. As a broker, you're helping that company and that person in shipping get trucks. Your fee is free. You're not charging them anything to use your service. You're making your money from what they're paying on the load. You're making your money from the profit of the load. What I'm getting at, maybe they've agreed to pay $2,000 to move the load from point A to point B. Maybe you got a truck. Paid the truck $1,600. You got a $400 profit on that load. That's where you're making your money. See what I mean? Now, as far as your packages, shipper package, carrier package, you're not going to be able to put those together until you get your authority, because obviously your authority, your bond, things of that nature are going to be involved in that package. I will say this, as a broker, you've got insurance, or you will have. Now, it's not required by law that a broker carries insurance, but you're going to want it. Contingent cargo, errors and omissions, and contingent auto liability. Anyway, okay. Those are the three main ones you want to get. Maybe not all at once, but you want to make sure they're in the back of your mind at all times. Generally, people will start out with that contingent cargo. It can run. I've seen it as high as $1,200-1,300 a year. I've seen it as low as around $850-900 a year. Just have to shop around. But the contingent cargo, what it does, it's a document you can put in your shipper packet. So when the customer gets it, they see insurance, and they see the Accord, ACORD. That's the document. That's what it's called, the Accord. They see that, they're happy. Now, when you've got that Accord, that goes in your shipper package, but leave it out of the carrier packet. Carrier doesn't need to know you have insurance because they're hauling the load. Their insurance is covering the load. You don't need to have that conversation with the trucking company. If something goes wrong, they try to say, well, file it on your insurance. No, that's not going to happen. But, you may spend 2 or 3 days trying to explain to the trucking company, and they know it already, but, trying to explain to them that it's not going to happen. All right? All right, Jenny, I hope that helps you out. Hope that helps you out with your Q&A. Okay, next up this morning, Austin. Austin's got a question. Can I work full-time while training? And after training, what's the likelihood of placement with a remote or work-from-home job? Every job posting I see requires a book of business. How do I get that? Thanks. How do I get around that? Well, you don't. But let's take this question, break it down one piece at a time. All right, Austin, can I work full-time while training after training? I think you're talking about, can you keep your full-time job while training and after training? Well, of course. Matter of fact, we recommend to all of our clients, do not give up your day job or your, main source of income until you built the business, until you got money coming in on your broker side. The reason is bills have to be paid. The only exception to that is if you got months of cash or cash, stash back that can get you through 3, 4, 5, 6 months where you don't have to worry about your personal bills. Electric bill, internet bill, telephone bill, car payment, rent, mortgage, whatever it might be, it's got to be paid. Now, I will tell you this. Yeah, you can't keep your full-time job, but understand that a freight broker, Monday through Friday, daylight hours, generally you're going to be starting your work as a broker 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. Mornings are going to be the busiest time of the day. That's why you think about it. That's when trucks are delivering their loads, picking up loads. That's when all the action's happening, the mornings. Matter of fact, if you've got access to a load board, that's what I always tell my clients at Taltoa. There is a homework assignment where they have to work with a load board to find trucks to, what trucks would they want to contact about their load. And I always recommend do it in the morning, early mornings, because that way you're going to see how the load board actually works. I mean, you can be looking at the load board in the mornings, and we use DAT power in training, but you'll be watching that load board in the morning, and the only way I can know how to describe it is like a popcorn popper, I mean, the trucks are just appearing that quick. On the DAT power, it's got a little box up there that will tell you how many trucks have posted since you did your original search. And in the mornings, depending on the type of equipment and things of that nature, in no time you can see 50 trucks, post that appeared after you did your original posting just a few minutes ago. I mean, it's fast. It gives you an idea of how it all works. But if you got a job, where you are able to work, like if you're working second or even third shift, yeah, you can train and work as a freight broker, and I'd recommend agent. That's what you're talking about here. Yeah, you can do that. That's no problem at all. Just understand it's not going to be, you're not going to start brokering today and start making money next week. It's a process. It takes time. Okay. It may take weeks, even months, before you start developing a constant, livable income. Now, a lot of people always ask me, what about weekends? Can I do this on weekends? If your customer's open and they're shipping, when I was brokering full time, usually my customers would tell me, hey, we're shipping on Saturday. All right. If they're shipping on Saturday, any loads I have that haven't moved, I can, post on the load board for Saturday. Now, trucking companies, as far as that goes, you'll generally find them behind their desk till about noon. You got to remember, as a broker, you are the intermediary, meaning you're the middleman. So your customer has to be at their desk. Trucking company has to be at their desk so you can put the deal together. All right. And you go on to ask, what's the likelihood of placement with a remote or work from home job? Well, as a broker agent, pretty much all broker agents work out of their house. There are some that have offices that they pay for, but they're making pretty good money, obviously. Likelihood of placement, well, there's going to be a great segue for Tautoa. I'm the lead consultant at Tautoa, and that's exactly what we do, Austin. We are a training and consulting firm. We specialize with working with freight brokers, freight broker agents, trucking companies and such. Now, when it comes to a freight broker agent, we have different packages available. They start at $695 and go up to $2,000, whatever package best fits your needs. But each of those packages include the essential training for working as a freight broker day to day, how to find potential customers, how to make your sales calls, how to respond, how to negotiate, calculate rates, find trucks, everything from getting the load all the way through delivery of the load, including legal and contracts, going to be included in the essential training. Now, when you have completed the essential training, and people always ask, how fast? How fast? You shouldn't worry about fast. You should worry about retaining the material, learning it. But you can schedule training sessions on consecutive days. There are going to be 6 of them. Each one's going to last anywhere from an hour to hour and a half. But after each session, you're going to have homework, and you're going to have access to the on-demand review area for that session. Now, I said on-demand because if you're wanting to do on-demand, the on-demand is identical to the live training, except it's in video format. But it covers everything we would discuss in the live training, everything, as well as you're getting the same homework, same hands-on. Now, at the end of your essential training, which generally will take about 2.5, 3 weeks, that's if you follow our recommendation to schedule no sooner than every other day. Okay, because that free day in between gives you a chance to absorb and take your time on completing the homework, or exercises, as you may want to call it. Now, at the end of your essential training, once you have completed that, you have the option with our packages to enter our mentorship program. That's where you're going to be placed through us with a licensed broker. So you can begin your broker operation so you can start gaining the experience. That's another question you ask. How do I get a book of business? How do I work around that? Well, in the mentorship program, you're going to be able to begin your broker operation through us under a licensed broker. That way we're able to oversee everything you're doing because everything's coming through us. We're making sure you're crossing the T's, dotting the I's. You're able to start building that book of business, start building a carrier following. And, in the mentorship program, it's designed, that's exactly what it's designed for, is to allow you to start building that book of business. So you, and gain experience so you can get out here and either start your own brokerage or find a broker you can contract to direct. work for them as an agent. No getting around it. You're going to have to do it. But you're right. Every job posting you see does require a book of business. But yeah, you check out our website, Austin, TALTOA.com. We have all kinds of packages up there. 3-month mentorship all the way to 12-month mentorship, followed by consulting period. That could be anywhere from 3 months to 12 months, depending on the package you choose. What it amounts to, like our most popular package for an agent is the standard, the Free Broker Standard. It has 6 months of mentorship program, followed by 6 months consulting. Now, the way that works is, understand the consulting or the mentorship program is basically consulting, but we are also providing an avenue where you can become a broker agent working through us under a licensed broker, but you have the consulting privileges as well. Now, when you exit the mentorship program to either go out on your own or contract to another broker or start your own freight brokerage, your mentorship program has terminated at that point because you stepped away from it. That's when the consulting period will begin. So at that moment, whenever you exit the mentorship program, your consulting period automatically kicks in. So if you got a 6-month mentorship, 6 months followed by 6 months consulting, you could actually have up to a year of consulting. 6 months in the mentorship, followed by 6 months consulting. That makes sense. Austin, if you have any questions, feel free to shout at me. Be happy to talk to you. 479-668-0838. In case you were wondering, you still got that stress going on because you woke up going, oh my gosh, it's April 16th. What have I done? Yeah, taxes aren't due till Monday. Keep that in mind. What did I do? I'm missing something. Where did I put it? Oh, it's here somewhere. There it is. All right. Today's impossible question, just to remind you, 8 out of 10 Europeans have one of these, but only 1 out of 10 Americans have one. What is it? We'll come back to that before we get done today. Today in history, for Saturday, April 16th, back in 1789, President-elect Washington left Mount Vernon, Virginia, for his inauguration in New York. 1922, 100 years ago today. 100 years ago today. Annie Oakley hits 100 clay targets in a row at Pinehurst, North Carolina. You reckon that was the Wild Bill Hickok show? Who was that? Who had that? Wild Bill Cody? Had that Western show? You reckon that? Anyway. 1929, the New York Yankees became the first major league team to add permanent numbers to their uniforms. Below that, it was, hey, you. 1956, solar-powered radios go on sale. 1962, Walter Cronkite made his debut as anchorman on the CBS Evening News. He succeeded Douglas Edwards. And in 1987, the FCC puts U.S. broadcasters on notice it would impose a broader definition of indecency over the airwaves. Don't see that so much anymore, do we? All right, what else is going on? Anything else? Let's see here. Weather. We have a lot of stuff we could talk about. Told you about that. Yeah, hey, April 22nd through 24th, if you're around Wildwood, Florida, 75 Chrome Shop Truck Show is going to be happening. Make-A-Wish Mother's Day Convoy going to be happening in Manheim, Pennsylvania on May 8th. We'll keep you up to date with stuff that's going on. All right. All right, I believe that's going to pretty much wrap it up. Going through here. Oh, here's something, yeah. I saw this and I thought, wow, somebody's got too much money. A rather rare piece of space history is about to go to the highest bidder. 5 samples of the moon dust collected by Neil Armstrong. He was the first man to walk on the moon back in '69, the Apollo 11 mission. It's going to be sold at Bonham's Auctions on Wednesday. thought to be worth, get this, $1.2 million. Dirt. Moon dust. 1.2 million. Why didn't NASA just collect a lot of that, come back and sell it? that could have funded their whole operation. But anyway. The first lunar sample collected by humanity, according to the auction house. It is also the only known lunar dust sample to be legally sold after being authenticated by NASA. 1.2 million. And it'll probably go up because, you know, there's some of these rich cats out there. Oh, I gotta have space dirt, man. Gotta have it. Put it in the garden. Try to grow something in it. It is what it is. All right. Today's impossible question. 8 out of 10 Europeans have one of these, but only 1 out of 10 Americans have one. What is it? Manual transmission. A stick shift. Huh? And anymore, you know, the big trucks, a lot of them are automatic, so who knows. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this FBTV Video Podcast, live streamed on YouTube as well as the Freight Broker TV website. Listen, go have a great Easter. Have a good weekend. Great Easter. Happy Easter to you. Remember what Easter is about. Unless, of course, you've made other plans. We'll talk soon.